Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith, the Smiths in the Black, the Strat Time Report, and we got some action out there today, folks. So, depending on where ye is in this series, so if we go to the SPY, right, back to a doji on the week. We're not inside week, as you can see here. We took that out, but we gap up and then come in. And if you've been paying attention, your 60 SPY try looks like this. Here's your broadening formation. There you go. Started to remember how tight this knuckle tight this was. And this is where you get chopped up. Oh, we're going to take them down. Are you? Oh, we're going to take them up. Are you? Back into the try she goes. Here's your broadening formation on your 60 SPY. So you got some distance to be an outside day, but you also are nowhere near being green on the day at this point. If we go to QQQ, to the tick-tock ticky, right there, right? Keeping it an inside week, right? So the thing was, were we going to be strong enough to go take all this stuff out on the daily? Here, we were not, and the Q's coming in hard, and we'll get to that in a second. And that would be a big outside 3-day, and you can watch the SMH here, as we'll get to in a second. You can see this big potential outside day, getting the smackdown. Still handily an inside month, we know about that. Still an inside week, but you can see this opening. Hoo boy, they took it to them, and we just had some news that Apple might be making their own chips. That's hitting Skyworks, AVGO, and a bunch of those semis, but we'll get to that in a second. If you get to the Dow Jones Diamonds, and Dow Jones Diamonds, you can see holding up a little better, right? But here's your broadening formation on the daily. Lower low, higher high. Now, what do we do? We're going to come back into this gap. What are we going to do? Dow Jones a little bit stronger out there, so I'll get to a few of those names in a second. If we get to small cappers, and small cappers, once again, your broadening formation, and now that expands into here. Take these guys out, and then coming back in right here. So far on the week, coming back into the range, inside weak and down, but it gets back into it. But now starting to tumble here on the daily, maybe another 322 on the downside, depending on where we close today. So one of the good things is we have follow through in certain areas, like XLP. We've been watching all week, and XLP another inside day to the upside, and inside day up and then up again, right? And so XLP still on the move here, and that's going to give you Kimberly-Clark going inside day to the upside, inside day to the upside, and all the usual suspects we've been watching. Your Pepsi, there you go, your Coke, there you go, your Procter & Gamble, there you go. So XLP coming up here again, cheese ketchup, KHC, inside day to the upside, triggering inside week to the upside. So a lot of that defensive posture still holding pat. XLU and remember that was an inside day up yesterday and still following through. So they're rotating into a defensive posture. We've known about that. We've seen it over and over again. So all good kind of stuff there. Makes it easy to follow. If we go to ADGI, and ADGI, and newer issue, but you can see this, the higher high, the lower low month, and then coming out of the ashes on the 2-2 reversal day here. 2 down, 2 up, and you can see this thing just came out gangbusters. If you go to a 15er, there's your inside 15 for the measured move. Now, how about a 30? Trying to take an inside 30 to the upside. So this thing has been a lot higher if they really want to continue to bring this thing back. Another thing we've seen is healthcare, XLV. And XLV having another day to the upside after a 2-2 week reversal last week. Still coming up here. Now just stalling out a bit, but we know that we've been watching this Johnson & Johnson for a while. And John & John, another high. Reversal week. Talked about this a lot, right? So we go to ANTM. And ANTM, there's your 1-bar Rev Strat monther. Inside month, back outside month. 1-3, right? So you just got a little bit of exhaustion risk, but you can see how nice this has been on the weekly since that 2-2 reversal, ANTM. In the Dow Jones, if we go to IBM, And IBM just kind of holding up in here with the market trying to come in and now trying to take an inside 60 to the upside, although we have this mother bar, which is any bar that's before an inside bar, but inside, and trying to take that to the upside, because on the monthly, you got the outside month, the 2 down, and the 322 month back trying to go to the upside. If you go to triple M in the Dow, and just having a nice little day here, the 2 down and then the 2 up, back to the range. Not sure how much more you'll get out of this, but it is holding up in a market that's tending to give it up just a little bit. Always watching these new 60s. If we go to NVAX, and NVAX had a nice little morning, so you had that here, hammer, counter shooter, 2 down, 2 up yesterday. And now you got some slight higher highs where it stalls out a little bit. So we'll see if anything comes of that, because if we can get this thing going a little bit more, that outside month, that 2 down and then 2 up, over 188.01 is really where you want to hang out above that. We also got the FAS here showing some strength here a little bit. Right now inside on the 60. But JP Morgan... And JP Morgan takes an inside day to the upside, not totally cranking here, but it's observation and potential. The Rev Strat weak, inside weak and coming back into the range. PNC was also having a nice little morning here, but hit some magnitude by taking this stuff out. These slight higher highs now coming in. We'll see. If we go to PXD, some of these energies trying to have a nice little day here. You see that this is what you look for: the 2 down, and then boom, 2 up, back to previous range. We know they tend to fail, but these energies don't go very far. But we're getting into a new year, so we'll see. If we go to Lilly, people ask me, what's a Randy Jackson? All right, Randy Jackson is named after a Strat trader that likes to trade this type of situation, where if you go to the monthly, here you can see an inside month. You can see the poke up, the 1, 2, 2 that pokes down, which is a Rev Strat, but then goes back green and takes it to the upside. He likes to look at stuff like this failed Rev Strat, right? Because he knows people are getting screwed in there. And this reversal didn't take hold, and boom, off she goes to the highs. And then when we use our multiple time frames, that it was triggered by the 2-2 weekly reversal here. 2 down, 2 up, and boom, and off she goes, Lilly. If we go to IMAB, and IMAB, some people try to stay on the gap list more than a day, because this was on the gap list yesterday. Had that reversal here on the 60. 2, 1, 2 reversal, and if that works and goes out on the highs, that sets up the 2-2 reversal day, which you got here. 2 down, 2 up, IMAB. On the downside, boy, the Q's. We said Q's having a rough one, albeit you got a new 60 here that we're keeping our eyes on. And all the SMHers and all that kind of stuff. So you had NVIDIA here, potential outside day. Still handling an inside month, but red. And working on trying to take out those weeklies again. But you can see this opening here was just miserable for these things. But trying to stabilize on the new 60, we'll see. We had some news that Apple might be making their own chips, and that was hitting SWKS. And a whole bunch of them, but especially SWKS and AVGO were mentioned. Come on, SWKS, there you go. And the good thing about SWKS here, now taking out that weekly low, right, is that we've known about this on the short side when you can get it to pop its head up, because if you go watch the macro video, and you got a new macro video coming out to start off the year, and if you don't think that's something you want to know about, it is. These are the big boy signals, all right? So if you go to SWKS on a macro basis, right, you're going to see this. Go to the quarterly. But I only day trade. I don't need macro charts. Yeah, you do. All right, I'm going to show you why. Something you want to know about right here. That's an inside 212 on the quarter, right? That's good for 3 months, right? And so some people will just choose to stay on that stuff because you know you got 3 months of watching for setups, right? So over there you're also going to see Corvo. Boom. 2-1-2 reversal on the quarter and the semis getting hit. These things trying to recover here a little bit right now, but we'll see going forward. If we go to shop and Shopee on the month, the 2 up, 2 down, right? You see like a lot of these things, they gap up and come down, potential outside day, right? That's something I'd want to know about. These things coming in hard. Also in those semis, you can see the AMBA makes it to the outside day here, pounded, right? Look at these things just getting pounded. And if that works, you can see this weekly potential the inside week to the downside for some more punishment and maybe an outside month. If we go to Teslers and Teslers, remember we're watching that monthly, that 2 up, 2 down here below 978.80, and you're there and getting pounded and looking for an outside day down into here. Here's your broadening formation, the higher high, and then boom, let's see if we can get her down to a lower low. Another thing you'll hear me say is that one can make a very good living doing nothing but trading the gap list, right? 30-60 gappers. Adobe, boom, 2-1-2 off the 60, right? Takes care of business. Right, and what's that signaling here? That 2-2 reversal on the month, the 1 bar rev strat here on the week. Do we know about that? We knew about that. I've talked about it. If you go to Vive, gaps down, attempts to comes up to fill the gap, then goes inside 60 and then repuke right there, boom. And if that works, potentially you might get that inside week to the downside to get some more pain and suffering. So we'll see how Vive goes. And W here, the shooter counters hammer monther, right? And then on the day, the slight gap down back through the previous range. Maybe see if we got a 30 in here or anything. It's looking, let me see one. And maybe a 15er. Inside 15, down, right? Inside 15 and down there. If you go to ACN on the gap up, and that gives you this. Inside 60 down, 2-1-2 reversal. So you can see if you just stay on 60s in the gap list, you're fine. You know, I mean, you don't have to jump around. You know where you're going to go. Also, macro list. Let's go back to the macro list. If you just stayed on, there's only one stock that I mentioned here. Macro list coming out over New Year's. QURE. Inside year and down. Below what? Below 34.38. This thing is getting pummeled right now. QURE today down 28%. All right, you might want to pay attention to this macro list when the vid comes out in the new year. That also gave you a big old doubler on Ford on the upside, right? It did. So QURE here, lights out in London, baby. See you later. All right, if we go to Amazon, and Amazon not doing much really inside monther. But just notable weakness here with the 3, and then it's poking its head up on the day and coming back in like a lot of things. Triangle the out and triangle the out, and back down she goes. Right now you got the Qs going into the lows. If we go to AFRM, the 2 up month, 2-2 reversal here below 118.85. Trade 96, 98, and that's good. Try and take out those weekly lows. You got this gap here, and it's taking a beat on it. Like a lot of things, you poke your head up, boom, down you go. So AFRM having some more issues. If we go to Snow, Apple goes to the lows right now. Snow here. The inside week, the slight poke up, and then coming back through. It's triggering here, 2 up, 2 down on the month. And you can see this yesterday, they got them good in here. Green day, 2 up, boom. As soon as it takes this out, that's a 2-2 reversal to the downside below 345, trading 329.51. So some good stuff out there, lots of action, folks. You just got to know what to look for and then pounce on it. All right. Get ready for that big old macro list because you can see the power that wields. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith. This is the Black Strat Time Report.